Good morning and welcome to another One Marine video. Today we're on a rather special sports cruiser, which is a really good entry-level boat into the marine industry. It's got sleeping ability for 4, it's got a diesel engine, it's in really good condition. The boat itself is a Doral 250SE, and here she is. She's in good condition. She's just come onto the market. We don't expect it to be on for long. Let's have a look at it. Gives you an idea of what you get for £50,000 in this type of boat. Let's go on board and have a look. Okay, so before we step on board, let's just have a look at the foredeck of this boat and what makes it a really practical family boat. So good foredeck space. Now, this is actually a Canadian boat, and Canadian American boats often don't have huge side decks to allow you to walk up. The idea is that you walk up through the middle of the windscreen. So if you look closely, the front of that windscreen there, the middle section actually hinges open towards me, and that allows anyone on board to come forward up through the middle of the windscreen. Now, there are pros and cons to that. The pros are, as the skipper, you can see who's going forward because they have to go past you to get onto the foredeck. The other advantage of having a walk-through windscreen is that they can maximise the space in the cockpit. So you'll see here there's no side deck. So what that does is allows the manufacturer to actually maximise the beam, the width in the cockpit, and it makes the boat feel a lot bigger than it actually is. Brand new covers on here, fitted last year by the owner, really nicely finished as well in the black, really make the boat feel modern. You've got a nice strong stainless steel rail here. Okay, so this type of cover is actually called a camper cover. Now, the reason it's called a camper cover, it's got these windows in it, and the idea is it allows you to use the boat to stay on for extended periods of time. Makes the cockpit much more practical, a bit like a tent, hence the name camper cover. This boat also comes with a tonneau cover, which is what clips onto these press studs here, and that is effectively a low-level cover that has no windows in it. It's more of a winter storage cover. So let's step slightly further aft now. We've got the shore power connection here. Now, it's easy for us in the industry to talk about shore power and things like that that are just normal, but I appreciate for people that are new to boating, that's often a question. Now, with shore power, what that does is connect the boat to a mains electricity supply on the pontoon. So you've got a waterproof electrical connector here, that plugs in, and then you plug it into the marina. Now, on Torquay Marina, they have a meter in line on the cable that charges you per unit. So every month, the dockies from the marina go around, record how much electricity you've used, and then you get an invoice. Now, different marinas do the electricity supply in different ways, but that's how we do it here at Torquay. But in short, what that allows you to do is to run the kettle, run the microwave when you're on the berth. So it's really sensible. Okay, before we step in the cockpit, one of the really nice features on this Doral is this really big bathing platform. Now, in reality, when you're at anchor with your family, your kids, whatever you might be doing, the big bathing platform is really nice because if you're swimming, paddleboarding, whatever it is, it's really nice just to have this space here to be social. Kids love it, so do the grown-ups. Another interesting thing on this Doral, and I'll show you in a bit more detail in a second, is this aft seat bench actually slides forward and aft. Now, what that does is actually gives you more space in the cockpit. And if we go back to the conversation we had earlier about the no side decks, keep making the cockpit wider, by then having this rear bench seat, which also slides aft, it really is making this boat feel much bigger than 25 foot. But let's go on and have a look in the cockpit and you'll see what I mean. So, as you can see, the Doral 250 cockpit is a very comfortable place to be. It's really hard to believe this boat is 25 foot. The cockpit is such a good size. It's a really nice seat, which I'm obviously clearly showing you here. You've got a wraparound seat section at the back and a really comfortable twin Helm seat. But it's just so much room. Really nice to get all these soft finishes around you as well. So it's a comfortable place to be. Little armrest in there, really nice. So you know in our One Marine videos, I do like a little chat about a helm. Excuse me wearing sunglasses, but the sun's so low this morning because this time of year you can't see anything. So, helm with the Doral 250. Good layout, nice position, steering wheel. Actually quite a nice feature. For this size of boat, you've got a helm indicator, which is really unusual, which shows you where the drive is on the back of the boat. Another little thing, I always tell anyone who knows me, I like these little cockpit companions. They're really good. Buy one on Amazon. If you're looking to go boating, these are really quick reference chart for rules of the road, as they call it, collision regs, lighting, mayday procedures, but they're actually a really useful bit of kit. For £8 on Amazon, well worth it. So go back to actually talking about the helm now. Now, good position, good visibility, dials, engine analog dials on this boat. You've got fuel gauge, oil pressure, temperature, etc, etc. Nice update from the owner on this boat. It's actually got the automatic Mente Marine trim tab system. So trim tabs work a bit like flaps on an airplane, and they help you to level out the boat. And this is actually an automatic system. So rather than having to touch it manually, it will allow you to press auto and the boat will help to level itself. Good bit of kit. Little Garmin GPS plotter here, works, colour, really helpful. You've got engine blower, you've also got a bow thruster. Now this size of boat, some boats will, some boats won't. It's really on the tipping point. But a single engine boat without a bow thruster is a lot harder to drive. Single engine boat with a bow thruster, super easy to drive. So that's a really nice feature. Nice ICOM, great quality VHF. This is a DSC radio, safety equipment really, but it's is also ship to ship and ship to shore. Very useful bit of kit. And then you also have some engine operation buttons here. So engine room light, depth sounder, wipers as well. And going back to when we spoke about the anchor winch earlier, it does also have the electric anchor winch button here, making anchoring that bit easier. Very important part of the boat, engine control. Here you've got a cable-driven throttle system, super easy, and it all feels like it's in nice operation. You've also then got your safety lanyard here, and you can trim your drive from the end of that. This boat has got good service history for the last 3 years, serviced by the local Mercruiser agent, Birchall Marine in Torquay, which we've got on file should you want to see it. So as you come down into the cabin area, it's a really spacious feeling. You've got these deck lights here on the both underneath the windscreen and slightly further forward, and they let lots of natural light in. The nice thing with Dorals is the quality of them is really good. So you've got this vinyl coverings over all the gel coat finishes, so there's no exposed gel coat. Nicely finished galley. You've got a fridge unit here which pulls out, nice size fridge. You've got a hot and cold water system on this particular boat, so you've got a nice size sink, and above that then a microwave. There's also a little alcohol gas stove here, so if you're not on shore power and you want to make a cup of tea, that's ideal. You'll see that you've got a number of 240 volt sockets around. Ideal if you want to run a dehumidifier this time of year, or you want to run a vacuum cleaner, that type of thing. There's some nice subtle lighting positioned in the cabin, and you've got a mirror at the end there just to make the space feel slightly bigger. The table here in the cabin does fold down or go down on some shorter legs, and what that does is give you the ability to turn this seating area here into a good sized double berth, and that's where the 4 berth accommodation really comes into its own. Sound system, you can be quite comfortable down here. In the heads compartment, you've got a manual flush seawater toilet with a sink. Now the sink here actually has a tap which lifts up to become a shower, and that gives you the shower functionality in there. Also a light. And then going aft, you'll see you've got this double berth underneath the cockpit floor. Now this is a permanent arrangement, so the berth's always there, so it's only just 2 people on the boat. You've got this curtain here which gives you a bit of privacy. So all in all, it's a really good space. The owner of this boat had it recarpeted recently, so it feels fresh. And when we got on board today, it also had a dehumidifier running, which I have to admit at this time of year is a good thing to have on the boat.